Hi and welcome to Comedy Recapped. Today we'll be examining 2008's I Want Candy. Before we jump into it, spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie starts with Baggy and Joe covering a funeral that eventually turns out to be disastrous. The next scene shows Baggy and Joe arriving to college. As they head to class, Joe is running through some other funeral jobs he was able to secure for them. An unimpressed Baggy, however, still wielding a bruised eye from his last funeral gig, reveals that he's tired of covering funerals. His dream was, and has always been, to shoot his own movie. In a bid to cheer his pal up, Joe points out that most of the movie industry big names had very humble beginnings as well, before getting their big breaks. On the other hand, they also have their end-of-the-term projects to look forward to. Being film students, their projects were primarily going to involve making an original film. The duo made a pact to create a film so spectacular that it would be the first film student project to win an Oscar. The ounce of optimism Joe can muster is, however, instantly squashed by their lecturer, who informs the class that their end-of-term projects should be strictly constricted to 2 minutes rather than full-length movies. Disappointed, Baggy and Joe take the pressure upon themselves to find a platform to get their film directing and producing careers to the limelight. They are advised by their third friend Lila to try out random filming industries looking for ideas in London. Following Lila's advice, the duo goes on to London and starts searching for film companies. They were largely unsuccessful in their search, despite Joe having to flirt with a secretary, and the duo having to impersonate the identities of other more reputable filmmakers just to pitch Buggy's movie script, The Love Storm. The most promising company they find, however, Heads Film, unknown to them, turns out to be an adult film company. The easily irritable manager, Doug Perry, vows to invest in their movie if they can turn it into an adult movie and get multiple award-winning actress Candy Fiveways to star in it. It took a little convincing from Joe to get Baggy on board with changing his story into a dirty film. Joe gets his hand on what he assumes to be Candy's manager's contract and is shocked to learn that her booking fee is a menial $250,000 sum. Excited, he goes on to inform Doug Perry about it. Doug Perry is immediately ecstatic and issues him an investment contract. After signing the contract, Joe is faced with a fishy revelation. Candy had worked with the company in the past, but for some reason, they had stopped working because they were no longer on good terms. The reason for this fallout wasn't revealed to Joe, but he was only informed, however, that they also were going to limit this deal to a subsidiary arm of the company, Big Bangs Pictures. He was also made to swear an oath to keep Candy from realizing that they were the ones she was working with. With a complete script, an investing company, and a superstar in the adult movie world now on their hands, Baggy and Joe recruit 3 of their classmates, Gabby, Christy, and Vlant, to fill in as their camera, sound, and lighting technicians. They cast auditions for the supporting roles using their school's theater room. Candy's manager, who Joe had spoken with, had promised she was going to show up that day. Baggy and Lila were highly doubtful of this, theorizing that Joe must have been swindled because $250,000 was too small a booking fee for a movie star of a high caliber. It all makes sense when a package arrives for Joe and it's a human-sized blow-up Candy doll instead of the actual Candy. The group decides to make do with one of the other actresses that auditioned that day. Meanwhile, Doug Perry realizes he might have been duped after discovering from Michael DeVere, the highly intimidating company CEO, that Candy was not taking any acting roles to even start with. She had gone on a hiatus to pursue a career in writing and promotion of her new book. Infuriated, he pays him a mob visit during which he informs him that failure to get Candy would attract grave consequences. Their last resort involved going to Candy's book signing in London and trying to pitch her the idea one-on-one. At the book signing, while Baggy goes to talk to Candy, Joe tells Lila about everything. The contract he had signed, the threats he had been getting, and how he had spent all the money and was in potential danger. Luckily, Baggy is successfully able to convince Candy to check out the script under the guise of wanting to sign a book. Baggy's chances are favorably increased by Candy's taking a liking to him due to a mutual interest in classical film. True to her word, Candy went through the script and called to inform them that she really liked it and was looking forward to working with them. Due to a location scarcity, they ended up using Joe's family apartment to shoot the film, adjusting their working hours to his parents' working schedules every day. Baggy begins to second-guess his script. In an intimate discussion, however, Candy is able to encourage him to believe in himself. Through major and minor setbacks, including limited resources, Joe's parents almost catching them filming an adult scene in their house, and several filming incidents, let's just say thank God for the invention of wet wipes, they are able to successfully film the movie. Over the course of the movie, Candy and Baggy seem to have fallen in love, and the same goes for Joe and Katie. They all celebrate the completion of the film along with the rest of the crew. This party is interrupted by Doug Perry, who comes in to collect the movie and mock Candy, who had unknowingly starred in a film for him despite vowing never to. Feeling betrayed by both Baggy and Joe, Candy storms out of the party. For the following weeks, Baggy avoids Joe. This is until the end of the term presentation when he shows up at the hall to reveal that he had swapped their 2-minute film with the adult movie because he wanted to view it on the big screen and have a first-hand feel of what the public would feel about it. The hall, which is filled with students, parents, and lecturers, are horrified to be viewing such a movie. None, however, is as embarrassed as Joe, whose parents now discover that they had used their matrimonial home to film an adult movie. Angry, Doug Perry shows up at the school to collect the film. Luckily for him, Michael DeVere likes it and is convinced they might have a shot at winning an award. Baggy and Joe both lose their college diplomas due to the controversy stirred up by their dirty little film. Later, Gabby, Christy, and Vaughn discover that their movie is getting nominated for an award. However, Doug Perry and Michael DeVere have taken full credit for directing and producing the film. Excited, they go to inform Joe. In a surprising twist of events, Joe is urged by his dad to go and claim his rightful credit for their movie. Lila, Joe, Gabby, Christy, and Vaughn all attend the award show. They are, however, unable to convince Baggy to come along. Candy, who is also present, is coincidentally announced as the presenter of the film for the year category which Love Storm is nominated for. Beforehand, Joe went to apologize to Candy, explaining that Baggy had no idea what was going on all along and had nothing to do with it. Accustomed to Doug's dishonest ways, she accepts his apology. There's, however, little she can do to help at this point. When she notices Baggy, who leaves to attend after all, Candy announces Joe and Baggy as the rightful director and producer of Love Storm. Ecstatic, Joe and the gang head on stage to receive the reward. In his speech, he notes that Baggy deserved the biggest credit for the brilliant film. Baggy joins them upstage to receive the award, and gives his own acceptance speech during which he thanks the entire crew, especially his best bud Joe, for making him do things he ordinarily wouldn't. But they still lost a college diploma, so there's that. And that's gonna wrap up this recap. We hope you've enjoyed it. If so, please click the subscribe button with notifications turned on so you don't miss a single video.